An armed robbery off campus leaves students in shock.
And SGA is looking to make printing less expensive for students. I'm Emmy Shalua.
And I'm Abigail Brown. You're watching Carolina News Today. The campus community was shocked to learn of an armed robbery Saturday night. In an email, campus police said a female student was robbed at gunpoint by 3 men at Pembroke Commons, one of UNCP's off-campus apartments. The robbery occurred around 9 p.m. while the student was on her way to her car. The incident is still under investigation, and anyone with information should contact the Pembroke Police Department at 910-521-4333.
Students learned a motivational plan on when and how to save their money. On Tuesday afternoon, Dr. David Walton spoke to students and members of Brother to Brother. He stressed the importance of having a financial plan whenever you're preparing to graduate from college. He ended his presentation with a motivational speech on financial planning, specifically for minority-identified populations.
WEPA printing stations, or Bluetooth-compatible printers, were brought to campus less than a year ago. But SGA is advocating for a policy that could increase electronic homework submissions opposed to paper, as well as raise the printing allowance allotted to students per semester. SGA President Thomas Crow Albritton says he wants a cost and time-effective solution that benefits everyone.
There were students who were printing off full textbooks, which is really a waste of resources. So we need to find kind of a middle ground for both faculty and students. What can we do to make sure that students have enough money per semester so that we're not requiring them or asking them to spend more of their own money after paying into student fees, but then we're also not putting a heavier burden on our faculty as well.
A corn maze in North Carolina is honoring the UNC Charlotte shooting hero, Riley Howell. Howell died after attempting to stop the gunman during the UNCC campus shooting last semester. The maze opened last weekend and will remain open through October. You can visit the Cold Mountain Corn Maze in Canton, North Carolina. The Riley Howell Foundation will receive a portion of the money raised by the corn maze.
The CEO of the North Carolina Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Patrick Conway, resigned this week after new details emerged following his previous arrest. The Board of Trustees issued a statement saying that they requested his resignation after a new video shows an SUV reportedly driven by Conway swerving on the interstate. He was arrested for a DWI and child abuse charges in June.
A panel of North Carolina judges rejected state legislative maps, saying lawmakers gerrymandered the district in favor of Republican leadership. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in June that federal courts couldn't strike down maps based on partisan gerrymandering, but state courts hold the power to do so. The court ordered the new district working sessions to be open to the public.
After a whistleblower's complaint was declassified, the United States House of Representatives started an impeachment inquiry to President Trump. Shortly after, Trump tweeted, "The Democrats are trying to destroy the Republican Party and all that it stands for. Stick together, play their game, and fight hard, Republicans. Our country is at stake." North Carolina Representative Mark Meadows spoke about the impeachment inquiry. He says Joe Biden should be investigated.
Well, I think Biden's actions need to be investigated, and I certainly applaud him for highlighting that, and I think it's certainly something that should be looked into. It's very serious. You know, when you look at Biden actually holding up $1 billion worth of aid, allegedly to help his son, I have a problem with that.
Yeah, some might say part of the college experience is having a roommate that is less than favorable. A few students on campus told us stories about the wildest roommate experience they have ever received at UNCP.
Yeah, my wildest roommate story. Okay, so I live in place off campus, and she has 2 cats. Sis was not taking care of these cats. The cats was peeing everywhere. Like, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I had made me a bowl. And like, not even 2 seconds to go reaching to the fridge to get the milk, the cat got his head in my cereal, and I was like, I'm about to kill this cat today. I didn't kill the cat, but she moved out, and it worked out in the end. But I was still just like, her and these cats got to go. It's not the move.
So I was living in the courtyard at the time, and I woke up coughing. I smelled smoke, and I opened the door. My roommate goes, It's fine, don't worry about it. All right, so I go back to sleep. I wake up in the morning, it's like fire extinguisher, like stuff all over the counter. He was like, yeah, the kitchen almost burned up last night.
One of our flatmates' boyfriend, who lives like 5 dorms down, he's always in our room, so he literally just took all his stuff and his TV and put it in our flat and in our living room. So he's pretty much there all the time. And our other flatmate's roommate just brings like guys from his, because he's from Pembroke, he just brings his friends over all the time. So it's like 11 o'clock at night and there's like 3 random dudes we never saw before sitting on our couch eating our food. So it's pretty much that.
When I was a freshman, we stayed in Village. We both had our own mini fridge in our room, and mine was full, so I kept some drinks in hers. And one day I went in there to get one of the drinks out, and it was a whole bunch of roaches in her refrigerator. And I knew they was from her house because they was nowhere else in our room. They was like only in her refrigerator. They weren't in the kitchen. They wasn't in my stuff, so I just let her have all of that.
This week on NCDOT Now, weigh in on the NCDOT Customer Satisfaction Survey and learn more about train safety as Rail Safety Week kicks off. That and more on NCDOT Now.
Welcome to NCDOT Now. I'm Marty Homan. We need you to weigh in on the NCDOT Customer Satisfaction Survey. And we're talking about train safety as Rail Safety Week kicks off. First up, this year, 15 people have died either by walking on tracks or being struck by a train at a railroad crossing in North Carolina. Some of these deaths could have been prevented by following a few safety tips. Always expect a train when coming to a railroad crossing. Modern trains can be difficult to hear coming, and trains always have the right-of-way. It may seem like a cool backdrop, but you should never pose for photos on railroad tracks. Walking on railroad tracks is illegal and can be deadly. Lastly, don't put yourself or others at risk by driving around lowered crossing arms, and keep your vehicle behind the white line. The goal of National Rail Safety Week, running from September 22nd to 28th, is to increase awareness and educate the public about railroad safety. NCDOT launched its 4th annual Customer Satisfaction Survey this week, and we want to know what you think. The purpose of the survey is to gauge how the department is performing in its effort to provide great customer service. Responses will help NCDOT identify ways to make North Carolina transportation services safer, more efficient, and customer-focused. It takes about 15 minutes to complete, and the link is mobile-friendly. You have until the end of October to weigh in at NCDOT's website. Lastly, the National Association of State Aviation Officials named NCDOT's drone program as the 2019 Most Innovative State Program at its annual convention last week. There's also time for you to vote for NCDOT's use of drone technology after Hurricane Florence. The department is nominated for an America's Transportation Award. That's all for this week's edition of NCDOT Now. For all of us here at the North Carolina Department of Transportation, safe travels.
Golf makes its first debut of the season.
And football bounces back with some extra surprises.
Ty the Sports Guy will tell you all about it. Stay tuned.
Brave Nation, welcome back to another exciting semester of Brave Sports. I'm Ty the Sports Guy. Let's get into the action with golf, who traveled to Bluffton, South Carolina this past weekend to compete in the Battle at Old South tournament. Freshman Angelique Seymour and sophomore Parker Melting both came away with a top 20 finish on the individual leaderboard and led the way for the Braves golf team to finish in a heavily stacked tournament. Seymour, who finished 1 over par overall, came up 1 stroke short of tying the single-round school record on Saturday, ending with the first round with a 69. The winner of the tournament was Lee University, who came away shooting 4 over par as a group. Golf's next matchup is October 7th through the 8th at the Patsy Randleman Invitational in Salisbury, North Carolina. UNCP goalkeeper Gina Ryan recently broke the Peach Belt Conference record for career shutouts with her 29th shutout in the double overtime victory over Shaw. Gina tells us that it feels good to have her determination be rewarded.
It's a big honor for myself, and I think it's an honor for the whole team that I've been a part of for the last 4 years. It just kind of shows all the hard work that we've put in through every practice, every training, on and off the field to prepare for every game so that we can be one of the top defenses in the conference. And it just is nice to have some hard work pay off and show with a record.
Braves' next soccer game is at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow against Columbus State at home. Volleyball had 2 matches this past Tuesday, games they wish they could take back. In the first game, Braves went up against 24th ranked and undefeated Wingate University. The Braves opened up some eyes in the first set by winning 25-20, but after that, Bulldogs took over the game, winning the next 3 sets, each by almost 10 points. Later in the day, Braves had their second matchup against Belmont Abbey. Although Belmont Abbey was able to sweep the Braves in straight sets, the Braves put up a tough battle, losing by 5 in the first 2 sets and then by 9 in the last set. Belmont Abbey hit better than .368 at the net, giving Pembroke their second straight loss, putting the team below the 500 mark. Volleyball's next match is Tuesday against Coker College. High school football is back in action with Fairmont going up against West Columbus. There was a tornado warning during the game. No, not an actual one, but the Golden Tornadoes showed up and swept the Vikings off the field with ease. At the Vikings' 5-yard line, Fairmont quarterback Tyler Locklear hands off to number 4, Jamaros McLeod, who breaks through to a touchdown. The Golden Tornado was spotted making his way around the field. Later, running back number 23, Derek Baker, bolts off the side to find the short corner end zone for a touchdown. And adding on a 2-point conversion, the score is 16-0. After Fairmont was able to improve their score to 24-0, new quarterback Cameron Sweet completes a pass to number 7, Jakeem Moore, who crosses the goal line before fumbling it. The score is 32-0. But that's not the end of it. With West Columbus having to punt, the ball comes up just short, but is picked up by Jakeem Moore once again at the 42-yard line and turns on the Jets for the touchdown. Fairmont would take a 40-0 lead going into the half. And then at the end of the game, Fairmont would win 48-0. Last Saturday, Braves football matched up against Catawba University. Coming into the game, Braves were looking to bounce back from the loss against Virginia State. In the first quarter, Braves are in the red zone with quarterback Josh Jones, who finds Fahim Diab across the middle and is able to run it in for the touchdown. This was the first score of the game, putting the Braves up 7-0. Second quarter, Josh Jones is blitzed, and he has to rush to the right side of the field and scrambles up 17 yards to come just short of the touchdown. But he wanted to make sure that touchdown was on the stat sheet. The very next play, he fakes the handoff to the running back and rushes 1 yard for the second touchdown of the game. Score 14-0 Braves. Third quarter, Catawba answers back with the 1-yard handoff, making the score 14-7 Braves. In the fourth quarter, the Braves took over, having Josh Jones able to find Quay Threed on an 8-yard corner pass for a touchdown, score 21-7 Braves. Then on Catawba's next drive, they try to make a big play by throwing it long, but the pass is intercepted by freshman Sean Hill and returned back for 14 yards. Later on that drive, Josh Sheridan completes a 5-yard run for a touchdown, making the score 28-7. Catawba tries to make a last-effort attempt with a 5-yard touchdown pass, but the Braves were able to come away with the win with the score 28-14. Josh Sheridan ended the game with 154 total rushing yards, and Josh Jones passed for 127 yards, completing 16 of his 24 passes. And the defense came away with an interception and a sack. After the game, head coach Shane Richardson gave his opinion on how his team did on both sides of the ball.
Well, I liked it. I thought it was a very well-rounded game, and some of those stats you're talking about, we talk about as a team. We got to win the running game on both sides of the ball. We've got to be able to win the turnover battle and be on top in the turnover margin. We've got to be able to do a good job in the red zone, right? So we want to come away with touchdowns in the red zone, and we don't want to allow touchdowns in the red zone. And all those things I think we did, in a much better way, in a more well-rounded way tonight than we have the first 2 weeks. And so it felt a lot more complete tonight, and just very proud of the effort of our players.
After the win, All-American punter Isaiah Parks gets on a knee in a circle surrounded by the players, not because he's hurt, but to ask the love of his life, Sarah Graham, to be his wife. They have been together for 3 years now, and on behalf of everyone at UNCP, we wish the best for the both of you. Congratulations. A very important birthday was also celebrated during the game as well. Our very own mascot, Brave Hawk, turned 27 years old. Happy birthday, Brave Hawk. Keep looking fly out there. And that's all I have to update you on Brave Athletics for this week. Until next time, I'm Ty the Sports Guy. Emmy, Abigail, back to you.
Thanks, Ty. Be sure to tune in next week when we tell you all about what you missed at Pembroke Day.
And it looks like another sunny weekend will bring us into fall. I'm Emmy Shalua.
And I'm Abigail Brown. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.